Right. So, in today's session, we are going to discuss about integrating cybersecurity into a business strategy in context to the role of a business analyst. So, in today's session, as far as cybersecurity analyst training program itself is concerned, wherein yesterday we discussed about the introduction part. So, what exactly business analyst as an analyst we do in context to the cybersecurity domain. So what kind of skill set we need to have, right? So that part we have discussed. Even at the same time we have discussed even about infrastructure security, etc., all that. Now in today's session I'm going to discuss about what are the aspects to be taken into consideration when we are going to integrate cybersecurity in any of the business strategy, because implementing the business strategy as far as the organization level itself is concerned, which is essentially important. In this regard, by implementing the cybersecurity aspects which we need to be considered is what something being a BA we have to be performed with. In this regard, the first thing being into the role of a business analyst, the first thing what is that we need to do is to perform the capability assessment. Okay, this is what something which we have to be performed with, right? So capability assessment is the first thing. So once the capability assessment and all everything, we need to structurize the strategy and program design. We need to structurize the strategy and program design. This is also the second thing we need to be focused more on. Whereas the third one about risk management, right? So what is all about risk management and all everything is what something which we have to be known with. So once the risk management and all everything, we need to focus on the third party risk management. Okay. We need to focus on the third party risk management. Third party risk management is what something which are we focusing on. So followed by third party risk management and all, the next is about regulatory response and compliance. So this is also something required. Regulatory response and compliance. Right. So these are the elements which we have to be focused when we are working on the business analyst role. Now, when it comes to the capability assessments as a business analyst, we need to assess the kind of cybersecurity capability assessments, what is to be performed with and how this is to be integrated existing to the organization strategy, what is that we need to implement. So followed by the cybersecurity capability assessments, we need to understand this from the enterprise context, because when we are implementing this from the enterprise level, so enterprise level implementation by implementing the business strategies, all that. So what kind of enterprise compliance assessments has to be implemented, has to be taken into consideration, followed by the kind of operational technology security assessments, followed by the cloud assessments. Because operational technology, wherein by implementing security assessments and all security identification, when we are implementing the business strategy is required. At the same time, even cloud assessments is also one of the key and important element, because what are the solutions are we going to develop for any customer requirements from the application development point of view. So most of the applications nowadays, we are using the cloud services. So cloud services is what something which we are focusing more on. So understanding about the cloud assessments in context to the implementation, which we have to be focused more on this regard. The next is strategy and program design. So when it comes to the strategy and programming design and all, so wherein we need to create from the technical point of view, because even we need to have architects who are providing some solution architecture for any of the project. So those people have to implement the strategy design and as well as the enhancements, what kind of strategy design and enhancements to be made. So by implementing strategy design and enhancements in the cyber security part, we need to identify the kind of model development which is in connect to the program design and operational strategy. What is that we need to focus on when we are going to build the strategy I'm talking about. Next, cloud transformation program is also one of the point. Let's say, for example, the application as well as the solution was earlier into on-premise. Now we are moving towards cloud services. So when we are moving towards the cloud services, it is always important for us to understand and as well as to create a program structure. So how this can be moved towards the cloud transformation. So this is also one of the key and important element we need to be focused. So not only that, we need to understand the regulatory aspects on a high level note, because regulatory aspects anyway will be discussed in the last. But when we are trying to understand about the kind of policies, procedures, what standards, what are the different controlling development methods to be focused, this is also something which we have to be identified. Next about, we need to create some risk management, because project management team will be involved more on the risk management part. Being a business analyst, we need to understand the risk management as well. So what are the risk governance structure as well as the oversights to be taken into consideration, followed by how this risk to be identified, right? So that possible assessments can be done subsequently. At the same time, what is the risk management as well as reporting standards to be maintained, everything comes under the risk management part. So once the risk management is done, we need to identify and understand the third party risk management as well. So because third party assessment of managing the services is one of the key and important element to be focused more on as a BA, wherein by optimizing the current state program assessments, at the same time creating a program design and as well as building with the help of technical as well as architect team, at the same time creating some customer risk response process, so that if there is any kind of risk which was identified, so that how customer risk response process and all everything is what something which we have to be focused more on this regard. Next, once we have done with it, next one is about regulatory compliance part, because regulatory compliances is also one of the key and important element wherein to be focused more on regulatory responses and all. So regulatory responses followed by the regulatory compliance and remediation plan should also be created and as well as to be planned by the business analyst whenever we are working on the cyber security part. So whenever we are trying to integrate the cyber security with the business strategy for any of the organization, when we are going to provide a solution, being a cyber security analyst as in business analyst, cyber security analyst. So these are the steps and these are the stages which we have to be performed as a BA, right? So this is all about session today. So if you have any questions, please go ahead.